It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso live on S3, another installment of the Culinary Hotline, Bling.
Ting, ting, ting!
Oh, yes, we're joined by one of our favorite chefs. It's Chef Clem, and we're in the kitchen heating things up. If you have any questions for him, as many people do, give us a call on 021 110 5552, and we'll help you get yourself out of those sticky kitchen situations. And the other thing is that we love to welcome our viewers in studio. We really do enjoy having, our guests coming over here for the Culinary Hotline. So today we have Brenda from Cape Town who joins us this morning. Brenda, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Expresso. It's so good to have you. But Brenda, you know what? It is not a welcome to Expresso until this has happened.
Thank you very much.
I am so happy every time I do this. Brenda, you spend a lot of time in the kitchen.
Quite a bit.
And you have questions for Chef Clem that today you get to ask.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a simple dish, but sometimes you just get stuck along the way.
Yeah.
With this pasta, I made it recently and I thought it was so simple to make. But when I dropped it in the pot, it didn't come out exactly the way I wanted it. It became sticky and clungy, and I thought, wait, let me just ask him. It's a simple meal and we're walking towards winter now. You want quick, easy foods.
That is exactly
simple and warm and nourishing.
I have the tips.
Well, you always do have the tips.
Absolutely. So it starts off with the amount of water that you actually cook your pasta in. You want quite a bit of water because as the pasta cooks, it releases starch.
Okay.
So if you don't have enough water in there, you'll actually see your water becomes a bit milky.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what happens then is your pasta does tend to stick together.
Okay.
So we were always like, I don't know who started this thing about putting oil
That's
in your...
also something I heard.
You don't need to do that. What
Okay.
you
I
do
see people
need...
do that and they clearly are messing it all up, aren't they?
You don't need to do it. I'll tell you about it. So you need salt.
Yes.
Very important. This is the first time you get to season your pasta. And you can be generous with your salt.
Okay.
And you can see, have you noticed when I added the salt,
Yes.
the water kind of bubbled over?
Yes.
It kind of raises the temperature of the water.
Okay.
And also, if you want to chill things like below freezing point, a bit of salt in it. You'll see it's crazy.
Well,
it's
something
science.
about the salt, right?
It's about the salt. Okay, so we're going to talk about normal spaghetti.
Okay.
And you know what breaks my heart? When people break their spaghetti because it doesn't fit into a pot.
Wait, are you saying to Brenda and I now
Yes.
that is something we should not be doing?
Maybe
When I see these people go like this, I look away. I'm like, no. I know what's about to happen.
I've done that all my life. All my life, I had to fight. I had to fight the spaghetti. I had to break the spaghetti. Now, I love the spaghetti, but I had to break it before I put it in the pot.
Don't break it. Don't break it.
Okay.
Here's what you do. Pasta cooks very quickly, so if you're worried about the fact that it's not going to fit in your pot, give it 30 seconds. You'll see it'll soften and it'll fit into your pot. What I do is I hold the pasta or spaghetti, twist it like this, and then drop. You see how it fans out?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay?
Impressive.
Now give it a few seconds and you'll see it's going to start softening and it'll go down by itself. So we spoke about the amount of water that you use.
Yes.
We spoke about the salt.
Yes.
Okay? Let the pasta go. So what I always do is if my pasta says cook for 8 minutes,
Yes.
I cook it for 7.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay? You don't want to overcook a pasta because then it's going to turn into like pop.
Yes,
And
yes.
you don't want that. You want to keep some of this texture. And sometimes when you hear al dente, people are like, I cook my pasta al dente, but then they give you pop. And you're like, you know what al dente means.
Wow.
It just means you're cooking your pasta, it has a little bite to it, a little bit of
Yeah.
texture. So you actually want to taste it. I haven't even done anything and the pasta's gone down by itself. Okay? And again, now you can kind of like just coat it down into the water. Don't put a lid on your pot. Let it just do its thing.
Okay.
Well, this is life-changing what you're showing us, right,
Definitely.
Brenda?
It's so simple.
It is. Who do you live with, Brent?
I live on my own. I'm retired. I live in a complex with so many other people.
And do you cook for them, or do you just cook
I
yourself?
cook for myself, and I like to share foods among people.
That's it. That is the thing. Food really does have that ability to bring
Absolutely.
us together. And Brenda, what style of spaghetti pasta do you make? Do you make like with chicken, or what is your usual sort of combination?
Yeah, I make it with chicken, and I do a cheese sauce, and I bake it, and I put it back in the oven again. The simple, warm things, but you know, when mine stuck together,
Yes.
I thought, I wonder what am I doing wrong?
What's happening?
It's simple, but it's so profound.
It is simple, but it's so profound. But listen, give us a call if you have any questions. 021 11.
Whoa!
Didn't get to finish the number. Thanks for calling the Culinary Hotline. Bling, how can we help you this morning?
Good morning. I'd like to speak to Chef Clem, please.
Hang on, I'm putting you on speakerphone.
I can hear you.
We can hear you now.
Who am I
Speak
speaking
to Chef Clem.
Morning, Chef Clem. It's Carol speaking from Johannesburg.
Hi, Carol.
I would like to know if tree tomato have as much acidity as tomato, as I get terrible gout from tomatoes.
Ooh, that's a
Okay.
very
Can I
good
replace
question.
tomatoes
Yeah.
with tree tomato?
Yeah, that's a good
With
question.
tin tomatoes, was that a question? Okay. What I find is when they tin tomatoes, the flavor gets a little more concentrated. So I actually find tin tomatoes might have a little more acidity than fresh tomatoes. It's a very tricky one. Some people say you can add bicarb to it
Yeah.
to kind of balance acidity. I said,
Yeah.
don't do that. Maybe just dilute the flavor a little bit to kind of dilute that acidity in the tomatoes. And maybe if you add a little bit of sugar for taste-wise, that'll balance out that acidity and you'll get a more balanced tomato flavor. Tomatoes are pretty acidic. I myself, if I have too much tomato food, I get a bit of heartburn,
Oh, yes.
you know.
Me
it's not
too.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tin tomatoes are definitely, for me, a little more acidic than your fresh tomatoes. So maybe fresh tomatoes are the way to go. And just pop one of those anti-acids afterwards. I know these are the struggles. You probably also struggle with red pepper.
Yeah.
Is Carol
I think
still
we've
there?
lost Carol.
Yeah.
Have we lost Carol?
No, we haven't lost Carol.
Oh, there we go.
So
do
I
you
think-
get heartburn
It's
from
not-
red peppers as well? And do you find that they are a
No,
little bit
it's
overly
not-
acidic?
Not tree tomato. It's tree tomatoes, not tin tomatoes.
Oh, not tinned, tree tomatoes.
Tree tomatoes!
We've
Okay,
got-
now I know the answer. The tomatoes that you grow at home, or tomatoes you pick off the vine, because you're literally picking them at the ripest point and they get more sun, you're picking them at a more riper stage. Carol, what's... Tree tomatoes!
Tomatoes.
Tabuso, help me.
Okay, it's a full-on conundrum.
So what I'm going to do, Carol, I'm going to actually get someone to get your number and
Yes.
we're going to actually get your actual question. And next week's Culinary Hotline, I'm going to
Answer
answer
that.
your question. I'm even going to give you a call so I can find exactly tree tomatoes, twin tomatoes, tin tomatoes, which
Tree
tomatoes.
tomatoes.
We're going to give you a call so we can answer your question live next week in Culinary Hotline.
Awesome. No
Thank you,
problem.
Carol.
Happy cooking, Carol. Enjoy that. Okay, so...
Wow, okay, it's
well,
Carol
it's a
again.
busy
Go.
morning. Maybe it is Carol again. Let's start on speakerphone. Thanks
There we
for
go.
calling the Culinary Hotline, Bling. Tabiso speaking. How can I help you? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, who's speaking?
This is Albie from Kempton Park in Gauteng.
Kempton Park, stand up. What is your culinary conundrum this morning that you'd like Chef Clem to help you with?
Okay, Chef, in the current economic climate of people that lost their jobs and were taking pay cuts, families are forced to move in with each other. So people are currently feeding a lot of people at once. So my question is, can you give us some tips on how to stretch, like, say, a kilogram of mincemeat or a kilogram of pork meat, you know, so that you can feed more people and still have a healthy meal
Yep.
that's not time-consuming and has got ingredients that are easily available.
Yeah. And I like that you
Fantastic
spoke
question.
about mince, because mince for me is one of the most miraculous ingredients that you can take a kilogram of mince,
Yeah.
and whatever you add to it, you get in like in a 1 kilogram, and you can actually feed 10 people.
Beef it up.
In all honesty. So my favorite thing to do with mince, the first one is to do a mince curry. Because the mince curry, as all curries, they get better the longer, like if you make it today, in 2 days' time, it's going to taste even better. My tip with mince curry, add extra potatoes. Potatoes bulk up your dish. So that's a great way then taking 1 kg of mince and making it feed so many more people.
Yeah.
Add a lot of vegetables to it. Also add spinach to it, a little wilt down. The kids won't know about it, but you'll be giving them all the extra nutrients and you'll be feeding more people.
Yeah.
My other tip, and this is a great one, is to make a bolognese out of it. And bolognese is, we spoke to Carol now about the tin tomatoes or the tomatoes. Bolognese is so simple. You brown up your mince, garlic, carrot, celery, and these are all things you can grow at home and are very inexpensive. And then you add your tomato to it, seasoning, garlic, whatever you want to do. You can make that in big batches. And I do this at home as well. I make bolognese in big batches, and then I end up freezing the batches. And
Because it can
whenever I
last
need
a long
it,
time
Yeah.
in
I take it out the
and you
freezer
can
and good to go.
always-
Yeah.
And bolognese isn't only for pasta. Bolognese you can use for so many different things. For lasagnas, for like spaghetti bolognese we spoke about.
Yeah.
You can end up turning that into beautiful little bakes and toasted sandwiches with bolognese inside. It's so good. A jacket potato with the bolognese on top. So mince for me is a huge hero one. I think when winter starts, when it comes here, we should do another mince episode because people keep on coming through with the mince questions. And mince is a great way to feed a lot of people on a budget. So thank you so much for your question. I really, really love that one.
It was beautiful. Thank you so, so much for that. So happy mincing over there at home. Okay, so are you happy so far, Brenda, with what you're seeing? And I'm sure that the mince question as well.
Oh,
was a good one
really?
for
You know,
too.
I have 7 grandchildren, so, you know, like to stretch a meal.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It's all we want to be doing, especially in this current economic climate. But listen, the lines are still open. If you've got any kitchen challenges and you really just need some help, sometimes you think it's the most basic meal, but you find you've got some problems with it. Give us a call, 021 110 5552. We'll be back just after this. How's it going there?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, it is. Your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, here on S3. Open up to some culinary delights because the Culinary Hotline, Bling, is here to answer any of your kitchen questions, any kitchen challenges, any culinary conundrums you might be facing. We want to take your calls and have Chef Clem, who is on standby to answer all of those questions. Give us a call, 021 110 5552. And we're still hanging out with Brenda from Cape Town here, but the phone is ringing, Brenda. Everybody wants to get a piece of Chef Clem's advice. Thanks for calling the Culinary Hotline. How can we help you this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Samantha speaking.
Samantha, where are you calling us from?
Cape Town.
Cape
Southern
Town, southern suburbs. I hope you're keeping safe, Samantha, out there. Obviously, with all of the
Definitely.
fires and everything, I'm so glad you're safe and you sound like you're good. What is your question for Chef Clem?
Hi, Chef Clem. I just want to know, if I make a pasta salad, why does it cling together? I do rinse it off and I do use a little bit of oil and salt when I cook my pasta, but my salad always clings together.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Thanks, Samantha.
I like this one because I learned this when I was like very young. I learned the hard way. So pasta salad is like absolute favorite South African braai side or, you know, whatever you make.
I've
pasta
never
salad.
heard of pasta salad.
Tabiso, you see the door over there.
Yeah?
Just go. Just go. No, I'm just joking. Don't go. Okay, I'm gonna make you a delicious curry pasta salad. You're gonna just fall.
Okay.
The thing about pasta salad is that when your pasta comes out the pot, it's quite, this is what you want for a normal pasta sauce. It's quite porous and absorbent, so it absorbs the sauce that you make. Then you come back 15 minutes and you're like, wait, why is my pasta into one big ball? Here's what you do. So when you make your sauce or your pasta salad dressing, you add half of it, stir it through, let the pasta absorb that, then 15 minutes later come back with your other half, then fold it through.
So
And you'll see it won't stick together. Pasta's like a sponge, it just sucks up everything. So add your dressing in 2 parts and it won't stick together again.
Okay, Samantha,
Samantha,
does
I
that
love
answer
it.
your question?
Thank you so much. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Thank
very
you,
much.
Samantha.
It does. It sounds like it does.
Can I just say, we spoke to Carol during the ad break and we found out what she's talking about. She's talking about the Tamarello tomato.
Oh, yes.
Or the tree tomato. But we've gotten so many more questions about tomatoes that we've actually decided we're going to dedicate a whole culinary hotline to the tomato.
We're going to have a tomato day?
A tomato day, and I don't know, does Zoe Brown, do you rinse your tomatoes? Yes. She just screamed yes.
She says
She just
yes.
screamed yes. Okay, so we're going to do a whole culinary outline themed on tomatoes. If you have any more tomato questions, go to our Facebook page, go find the culinary outline post. You'll see my face over there. Post us, ask us all your tomato questions. I'm so excited. I'm in a tomato mood now.
Yeah. Well, Brenda, I'm seeing some guavas here. Are you a big guava lady?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah?
yes. It reminds me of my childhood. My mom used to make it religiously on a Sunday in a form of a stew fast.
Oh, I love that. Okay, well, let's take this call. Thanks for calling the Culinary Hotline. Blake, how can we help you?
Good morning. As you were saying, we're heading towards guava time, and I prefer making my own for a couple of reasons. But essentially, I can't seem to thicken it. And I don't want to do what the professionals on internet say, and that is just reduce the heat all the time. It doesn't really work. I've got to be able to put something into that liquid just to give it a slight thickness.
I love that.
And that's the info I want from you guys, please.
Okay, great. And who are we speaking to? Because you couldn't wait to chat to Chef Clem. You went straight into it. I can see on the screen that you're calling from Cape Town, but your name is?
Andre.
Name's Andre, yeah.
Andre, that is
What
it.
was the question,
Okay.
Tabzi?
Well, the question was, when making guavas, the syrup doesn't thicken, so he's looking for the stewed consistency that you want to get from your guavas when you
Okay.
pickle them.
So he wants his sauce to be a little bit thicker.
Yes,
Okay. So here's the
that's
thing.
Yeah,
That's all
that's
about.
it. As thick as what's in the tin cans, like that.
That's it. You know that when you get it in tin cans,
cans, yeah.
as thick as that.
What as thick as that?
Yeah.
All that is the amount of sugar that you add to your liquid.
Is it that?
Yes.
I mean, it's just that. And then also, you'll also find out the longer it sits in there, when it starts cooling down, the sauce will thicken a little bit more. I'm going to make it with you because I loved preserved guavas. And we spoke about this offline.
Yeah.
You used to have in the stewed guavas.
Definitely as a
Childhood
childhood.
memories for
Absolutely,
Brenda.
it's so delicious.
I love a guava. Am I able to even ask just a sneaky little piece of guava that you're
Yes.
not going to use?
Yes,
Just to
you can
taste
have- you
if
can
the
have-
season has arrived or not.
Okay,
Yeah?
so what I do is I always peel my guavas first because the skin tends to get a bit like chewy and tough and a little, the texture's not what you want in there. So water's going, I'm gonna add some sugar to it.
Okay.
You could add brown sugar. You can actually do a little bit of a mixture of honey and sugar. It's just the sweetness, the sugar that's in there is actually a preservative. So sugar preserves things. That's why we like putting things in sugar and that's why it just lasts forever in there.
You're adding the sugar to water.
To water, yes, yes, yes. Then cinnamon's going in, and this is not the traditional recipe. This is where you can get creative. You can add cardamom to it. I'm adding cinnamon to it. I love ginger and guava as a flavor pairing together. I'm not even going to take the skins off. I'm just going to slice it up, and that's going to go into the water. So I'm going to get the delicious flavor of ginger and cinnamon. And then when I add I halve my guavas. You can keep them whole. I like keeping them, doing it in half because it has more contact with that syrup. And then literally, okay, here's what the thing. I bring that to a boil and I let it boil for about 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. I wanted to see it kind of thicken slightly.
And
I
then you
put the
just
guavas-
taste it with what? Like a spoon to
You'll
see
actually
the
see.
thickness?
You know what's a good tip, Stubbsy? Put your spoon in there, pull it out. If it sticks to the spoon, you kind
Then
of
you
get
know.
Yeah.
Then you know. Okay.
Pack a jar really full with your guavas, and then pour that liquid over. You can do it while it's still hot.
Do you? Okay, I was going to ask if you have to wait for it to cool,
Nah.
or if you can just get it done
Get
while
it
it's hot.
done. Then you don't want to have any air. Air is your
biggest enemy
right
when
here.
it comes
Yeah,
to
you want to
guava.
remove all the
Yeah.
air. Okay, don't spill. Don't mess like me. That's pretty full. Okay,
I'll
cool.
eat that one.
Will you? Okay, cool. Then, there. You give this to your great-grandchild because it's going to last that long. I'm telling you, the flavor is going to be so beautiful. You can have a nice thick sauce on there.
I love
what
it.
I also do with that sauce, I don't waste that sauce. I use that sauce to make a delicious cocktail because you got that guava flavored syrup in
But
there.
also you added that ginger.
that ginger's in there.
Any cocktail with a hint of ginger is the queen of the moment.
I wouldn't know.
I am
wouldn't
telling
know.
you
I
now,
wouldn't know.
I know everything about it. But listen, if you want to be a part of this and you want to make this recipe at home, we've made it pretty simple for you with all the ingredients loaded on our website, expressoshow.com. You're not going to need a lot, but I promise you, the flavor is explosive. Andre, does that answer your question? Are you happy you're going to be making
Andre.
cocktails?
No, not at all. It doesn't answer my question because that's exactly what I do. Loads of sugar just to get rid of that bitterness. And I do allowing it to cool down and it still remains like water liquid.
You just need to
I
add more
don't
sugar
agree
to
with
it.
that.
And when
Just
that
add more
happens,
sugar to it,
Add
yeah.
loads of sugar, loads of sugar.
Go
You
some
probably think
more.
that I'm a fanatic, a sugar fanatic or something. It needs something else, I'm sorry.
is there anything
I'll
else
do
that
more
Andre
research
can
for you
do?
because
Yeah.
normally what happens with me when I get it to that stage, the sugar does thicken.
Yeah.
And
What kind of
I'll-
sugar are you using? Brown, white, like a xylitol? What are you using?
Hello?
Andre?
Okay. I think we are losing Andre there. Okay,
Andre,
we'll
maybe
chat
play
about
around-
that.
I'll play around with this some
Yeah.
more for you, but that's all I do, and the syrup does come out nice and thick. I think, yeah, we'll do more research for you, but we'll also to find out about the ripeness of your guavas.
Yes,
Yeah, it
because
could
that
be that,
becomes part
but
of
we'll
it.
check it out for you again. But this will definitely give you that thick syrup.
Maybe it's Andre, maybe it's not. Let's see. Thanks for calling the Culinary Hotline Bling. Who's speaking? How can we help you this morning?
Hi, is that Chef Clem?
No, that's Tabiso, but Chef Clem is here.
I'm here.
Hi.
Is this
Hi,
Annalene?
Annalene. Yes, from Nelspruit.
Annalene in Nelspruit, also known as Naspoti. What is your question?
Okay, listen, I've been cooking since I was 9 years old. My mom taught me, but the problem is me and onions. What can I do for me not to burn my eyes?
Oh, Annalene, that's a brilliant question because every time I see a bunch of onions, I actually twitch
Start crying already.
multiple times and then break into full tears. You're about to see it now.
Can I get another knife, Chef?
I'm not in front of my TV now.
All right.
I'll get to my TV.
We're going to do a little bit of a test because this is a tricky
Watch
one
this.
because I have not found a solution to not cry. And you just spoke about the fact that you had to peel 15 kgs of onions now for Easter.
Definitely.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure there were tears.
No, no
There
tears.
were no tears? What was your
How
trick?
did you do that?
What was your trick?
I was quick.
Okay, that's
I
what-
cut off my tops.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I
here
cut
you
off
go.
the tops, I cut off, and then I just peel my onions like normal, and there was no tears for me.
Okay,
How do
here
you
we're gonna
avoid
go.
having the onion in the kitchen without even eating it yet, but you can taste it in your mouth?
And
I
you
was
start crying. Okay, I'm going to...
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, Tabzi, you got a knife.
Yeah.
You got a knife, I got a knife. So what we're going to do is, okay, we're going to try. Being quick is a good one because the quicker you take, then the less chance of those vapors getting
So
into
what
your
does
eyes.
I do?
Okay, you can chop your onion anyway, but before you begin, we're going to do a little test. Okay, I'm going to put some bread in my mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to put some...
A spoon.
You told me about the bread.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to put some bread in my mouth. Tabzi, you're going to be out control. You're doing nothing. You're just going to
Okay,
chop.
cool, yes.
You got the spoon in your
Yeah.
mouth. We're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to find out what happens. Okay, and chop.
I'm really confused right now.
Chop your
because
onion.
Why are you eating? Why do you have a teaspoon in your mouth? Is that a method of avoiding the tears? I've never seen that one before. Okay, and then what happens?
Okay.
No one's crying yet.
No one's crying, I'll tell you why. Here's the main thing that actually works well. Make sure your knife is extremely sharp.
Okay.
That way you don't bruise the onion, you slice the onion. You're not going to release those vapors, so make sure you're always working with a nice sharp knife, and that will actually minimize the chances of you getting teary eyes. Save the bread, save the peanut butter, save the spoon, get a sharp knife.
True.
And you should be good.
Definitely.
Got that, Annalene?
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
You
Okay.
know so. Enjoy that. Well, this is fantastic. Well, listen, all of the recipes we have made here on the Culinary Hotline. Blake, Culinary Hotline, Blake!
Tring, tring,
There we go.
tring.
They're available on the site, expressoshow.com. We've taken in so much information. Time for us to take a break and just process all of it. Process all of it. Process all the information. We'll see you after this.